Hello, today we're going to talk about how to retell a story. Yesterday, you watched a short video clip on retell, and we have also covered this in class. So, retelling a story, if you think back to our roller coaster anchor chart that we created together in class, how to retell a story. Remember, you have a beginning, a middle, and the end. So, in the beginning of the story is when you learn who the characters are, what the setting of the story is. We know the setting is where and when the story takes place. So, you're learning about that at the beginning of the story, those details. And as you ride up your roller coaster, you start to find out about the problem of the story. And we know the problem means what is wrong with the story. You're going to talk about the events that occur. And then as you go down to the ends of the roller coaster, to the end of your story, you're talking about and you learn your solution, which is how you solve the problem. So the problem is what's wrong. And at the end of the story, we find out how they fix the problem. So, boys and girls, today you're going to think about the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story and retell the events of what happened in that order. So when you think about your five fingers, we know the characters of a story are the people or the animals. The setting is where the story takes place. The problem, what's wrong in the story. The events are the things that happen in the story. Think about first, next, then, and last. And the solution is how did they fix the problem? So when you were in your Google Classroom today, you are going to reread Little Bad Riding Hood. You read this story yesterday and you're going to reread it again in Epic. And I want you to pay close attention to the events in the story. What happens at the beginning? What happens in the middle? And then what happens at the end of our story? When you get done with your story today, you're going to go back to Google Classroom and open up your slides of story retell. You're going to type in the blue text box. Boys and girls, remember when you are typing in the blue text box, if your text box gets deleted, all you need to click on is the little button with the T on it and draw a new text box. So if it gets deleted, just use that text box tool and draw a new one. Once you click on the text box, you can type your answer. You're going to tell me the title of the story, which we know. We go back to the beginning is Little Bad Riding Hood. And it's written by Julia Jarman. So beside author, you're going to write Julia Jarman. Then you're going to tell me about the story and you're going to retell me the story. In the beginning box, you're going to tell me who are the main characters, where and when does the story take place. So tell me the setting of the story and what happens at the beginning of the story. Next, you're going to click on slide 2 and tell me what happens in the middle of the story. What is the problem? What does the main character do in the story? And at the end of the story, how is the problem solved? So think about in the middle of the story, what is wrong? And then at the end, how do they fix it? How does the story end? Once you type into all of your boxes, that is your assignment today of retelling me the story, Little Bad Riding Hood, into your Google Slides.